Good evening, everyone, and welcome to In Vino Veritas. I'm Anthony Sandstrom, and this is my lovely co-host, Master of Wine, Jeannie Cho Lee. Now we're going to take you on a trip through the wonderful world of wine to the famous regions in France like Burgundy and Bordeaux. And this show has something for everyone, for the rank beginner just like myself, up to the experts like Jeannie.
I think that for experts out there who love wine, this is a great show where we'll show you what are the wines that are drinking beautifully now. How do you get the maximum pleasure out of wine? How to decant? What are the vintages to look for? What are the great values? We'll be talking to producers, we'll be getting insights, walking in the vineyards, talking to viticulturalists, and this is where the real story of wine begins. Come join us on this journey.
So sit down, pour yourself a glass of wine, and join us on the journey. C'est la vie is a special section we have set aside to show beginners how to deal with different situations with wine that you may encounter. Our first lesson will demonstrate how to order food and wine in a fancy restaurant. So listen up, gents. Keep watching if you want to impress the ladies.
Wow, this restaurant is so beautiful. I love it here.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Actually, there's normally a 2-month waiting list here, but last week I purchased this restaurant for our date.
Okay, thanks.
You know, there is a divine Chardonnay here, so we have to try it.
Sure, sounds good. I love Chardonnay. But
Everyone does.
there's just so many wines to choose from here. I mean, what year is good? What brand is the best?
Don't worry, dear. I can read a little bit of French, so you let me take care of this, okay?
You know, I was thinking about having a steak, though, and I heard somewhere that red wine and steak go well together. Is that true?
That's just a myth. Red wine and meat. Actually, the truth is, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if it's red wine, white with whatever. It's so confusing. I can't even read the menu. What am I gonna do?
Sometimes the wine menu can be very big and very impressive, so it can be very difficult to order wine. But I think what is important, the first thing that matters is very much what is the occasion. Is it a celebration? Is there a guest at your table that drink often wines that will be very knowledgeable? This is very, very important because it will really change the style of the wines that you should order for that day and for that dinner. What I would say as well is often the food choice will be as well so important. Will you order the wine first? Will you order the food first? This will really affect the style of the wine and change the style of the wine that you should order. What I do often suggest in restaurants is possibly to start with a glass of white wine, something fresher, drier, a crisper style of white wine that will really clean your palate and will make you ready for the next wine. And then that's when you can order your big bottle of red wine to match with your main course or with your beef course or lamb or whatever you wish to order from the menu that will match to this bottle of wine.
Wine and food are best friends. Food tastes better and wine tastes smoother when paired well together. As for dinners, it's always more enjoyable to eat with friends than eat alone. So Jeannie will introduce us to her friends from around the world, taking them to the best restaurants in Hong Kong and showing all of us how to match great wines with delicious Asian cuisines.
Ellen and Lise, welcome to Hong Kong. Let's have a little toast to your visit here. I know you've been here many times, but welcome today and thanks for being with me. We have here today Hélène Garçon-Levesque from numerous chateaux in Bordeaux, actually 5. And we'll be trying several of her wines today with some of the great Cantonese signature dishes, so I'm really excited about that. We have Lise Latry from Chateaubriand des Chines in Margaux, and we'll also be trying her wines too. So thank you so much for being here, and yeah, let's enjoy our first dish because I know you're hungry. We're having some deep fried prawns with some crab roe, a very classic dish. So with this prawn dish, we've paired an Alsace Schlumberger Riesling Grand Cru from the 2007 vintage. And you get those.
It's wonderful.
And Riesling, especially from Alsace, has these very intense aromas. The flavors can stand up to it. So.
In fact, the acidity helped to dynamize the shrimp, you know, and this helped to refresh the mouth, I feel.
Now we have our second course of 2 wines to be paired with a very challenging dish. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. Here is your introduction to stinky tofu.
So Chateau Berger is a property of 45 hectares where we produce a red wine and a white wine. Here the wines we are having is the red, and the blend is usually Aubergé is very smoky, very tobacco leaf, cacao. So let's see how it's going with this special dish.
How do you like the dish? Forget it with the wine by itself.
So it's surprising. It's surprising. It's very powerful.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is very challenging with wine.
Yeah.
This is what we've been waiting for, the signature roasted goose that's very popular in Hong Kong. So here, let's try the 2 wines and tell us a little bit about first Ballante and then Clos l'Église.
So Chateau Bardot is a Saint-Émilion Grand Cru Classé since 2012. It's a property located on the top of the hill of Saint-Émilion. And then we have Clos l'Église. Clos l'Église is a property that my family bought in 1997. We were very lucky to be able to have that property because Pomerol is so tiny. We only make 8,000 to 12,000 bottles, so very exclusive.
I have to say I do prefer the Clos l'Église.
I would agree with this. I would agree with this.
With this dish. If you are choosing a Bordeaux, I would say that even with seafood dishes, go for a wine that has about 15, 20 years of age. And it is possible to pair it with seafood dishes as well. And this is a main part of our diet. Wonderful green vegetables, of course, but also seafood. And I think that's something to keep in mind that we were talking about today, how maturity of the wine really makes a difference on our appreciation, the elegance of the wine, the level of tannins, the perception, and the marriage. So the older the wine, the easier it is to pair, and also how versatile it can be with seafood dishes. Thank you so much, Ellen, for making time from your busy schedule. I know you're visiting for only a week, so really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeannie.
And Lise, really thank you for your time and for giving us and sharing with us tips and your wonderful wines today.
To explore the world of wine, follow us to France, the quintessential wine region of the world. First, Jeannie and I will head to Bordeaux, the oldest and largest wine-growing region. Here, we will visit different chateaux, meet some of the biggest names in the wine world, and reveal their secrets to producing the finest wines in the world. And we made sure to check out the hottest event in Bordeaux, Fête la Vin. So let's explore the world of wine together.
We are here in Bordeaux, the most famous wine region in the world, and it's been producing wine since the 8th century. What are we doing here? Well, Jeannie's going to take us to some of the top premium chateaux where we can sample some of the best wines in the world. And I'm going to take you around the city streets of Bordeaux to show you what it's like to live here.
Situated in the southwest corner of France along the Atlantic Ocean, Bordeaux boasts more than 10,000 wine producers covering 120,000 hectares, making it a world-famous wine-growing region. The Bordeaux appellation is perfect for cultivating grapes for wine. It offers the unique combination of the right soil for growing grapes used in the production of wine, coupled with the easy access to the Garonne River, which became beneficial in the exporting of the wines overseas. It is also the location of the popular Bordeaux Wine Festival. Every second year, in late June, wine growers and producers and nearly 500,000 of their fans converge on the city of Bordeaux in southwest France for a festival of wine tasting. Bordeaux Fête la Vin.
Well, this is it, Fête la Vin. This is the world's leading wine festival right here in Bordeaux, France. And I can already tell that the French love their wine and they love their life, and their passion for it is exemplified right here. And the good part, when I came in the gate, I got my own wine tasting glass. This is my key to happiness.
You have to know the wine road when you get started. The wine road is essentially a 2-kilometer trail on the banks of the Garonne River.
Now when you first enter, the first thing you want to do is get yourself a ticket booklet. Now this is loaded full of drinks and samples from all the different types of vineyards. This is your key to success. I've got my glass, I've got my free drink booklet, I'm ready to have a good time.
Tasting pavilions will be erected by some of Bordeaux's most impressive 18th century buildings, and people participating in the Wine Route event will be able to taste 80 different types of wine from the Bordeaux and Aquitaine regions.
Can I try one glass? Oh, thank you, thank you. My first glass. Hello, bonjour. Hello. So, what have you got here? What is this?
So we are the tourist office of the vineyards. So
Okay.
there's several ones.
Okay, your favorite.
One of my favorites.
It's delicious, I like it.
Organized by the Lusoc Saint-Emilion Club, competitive barrel rolling is an opportunity to be surprised by a great performance and a tradition symbolizing the excellence and expertise of the coopers. Although I'm not a qualified cooper, I think I might be good at barrel rolling. I think balance will be the key here. It's easy. I'll show you how. I'm going to join the competition.
Okay, I'm going on my very first barrel competition. If you're going to roll barrels, you might as well do it competitively. First.
The event is about to start. I'm actually a little bit nervous. Never done this before. There's lots of people around, but I tried hard. Got it going. The barrel is rolling. Man, I can't find that balance point. Where's my competition? I know. I have to take him out. Yes! Now it was on to victory, and it was not easy. Barrel rolling is a difficult task.
Merci beaucoup. That was absolutely fun. Complete, utter fun. It looks easy, but it's not. You gotta find the perfect balance point. In my race, I went to my biggest competition and I rolled my barrel straight into his. Take out the competition, right? If you get a chance, make sure you try it, because you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Well, Jeannie, this place is absolutely fantastic. Where are we?
We're at Chateau Aubryon. This is the oldest chateau in Bordeaux with documented history of over 500 years. It's one of the first growths, one of only 4 that was classified in 1855.
Okay.
And this region that we're in is not only beautiful, it is surrounded by a town, but it makes both wonderful whites and reds in this Passat-Léognan region.
Chateau Haut-Brionn's history can be traced back to the 15th century. Its history is one of the longest and most interesting of any Bordeaux Chateau wine. The property derives its name from an ancient Celtic term, briga, which when loosely translated, this means a rise or a mound in the land. This unique terroir is prized for growing grapes which started to produce Bordeaux wine close to 600 years ago. Now, the secret to how a winery can remain so successful for such a long time is to take a look at how they make the wine. In winemaking, fermentation is where the magic happens. Fermentation takes place in stainless steel tanks, concrete barrels, or oak barrels. And here in Haut-Brion, they use stainless steel vats to better control the quality of the wine. The fermentation process is about 2 weeks, and then the wine will spend a year and a half or sometimes longer in new oak barrels before being bottled unfiltered. When wine comes into contact with oak, the wine is never the same. The oak concentrates in wine colors, amplifies the aromas, and adds significant complexity and underlying richness and creates a creamy texture to the wine. And after a tour of the chateau, we will start the wine tasting. Now this is a part I've been longing for, and it is my very first wine tasting lesson given by Jeannie.
Jean-Philippe, thank you so much for having us at Aubryon again. And I want to introduce you to Anthony.
It's very nice to meet you.
This is Jean-Philippe.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you.
He's the technical director and the person who actually crafts these beautiful wines. And now you have more and more chateaux under your direction.
Absolutely.
Yes, tell us about all of them.
We managed 3 different estates, both in Passat-Léognan. Number 1 is Chateau Aubryon and Chateau de la Mission Aubryon for the other one. And the last one is Chateau Quintus in Saint-Emilion.
Well, we have 3 different types of wines here. I'm really excited. This is my first wine tasting ever. So how do I do this?
Okay, well, actually, we only have 1 wine, just 3 different vintages.
Got it. See, I'm a brand new beginner. I don't even know this.
So it basically means that we're doing a mini vertical. And a vertical means looking at one property and looking vertically down at the different vintages. So that's why we have 2001,
That makes sense.
2000, and 1988.
So I see a lot of times we go to restaurants and such, and there's people there, they're swirling their glasses around, and what exactly is that?
Well, before you do that, I would say make sure you look at the color.
The color.
And you're looking really at the core of the color as well as the rim or the meniscus of
basically
the
the
wine.
Edge of the red to see how it fades against, say, a white background.
Exactly.
So you have the senses of the mouth, senses of the nose,
Absolutely.
both of those together.
So what do you smell?
I smell, well, obviously,
Wine.
wine. Of course, simple answer.
Red wine.
Red wine, but it has a nice, rich smell to it. There's no acidic type of smells.
So take about a tablespoon, about 10 to 15 milliliters, just enough to fill your whole palate. And you keep it in your mouth for a while. And often when I'm tasting, as Jean-Philippe knows, I use this very handy spittoon. And did you notice that Jean-Philippe and I also inhaled a little bit of air? So we open our mouth a little bit and just a little bit. And that helps to further aerate and open up the flavors on the palate.
Well, that was an absolutely wonderful experience. Next one, 2000.
So this is a great comparison. 2000, as you know.
Just 1 year apart.
Yeah, but it was such a sought-after vintage. At that time, I remember, wasn't it the most expensive vintage ever en primeur? Wow, that is powerful. Do you notice how there's more fading on the 01, even though that's the younger vintage?
This is the first wine and the second wine I've ever compared, so.
It's all red, red, red.
But I do understand a little bit more what you're saying.
And then the 88.
88.
Which is a very special trait, 26 years old.
26 years old. Already I can smell this much different than the first two.
And if you want to impress friends, you just say, this is classic Haut-Brion.
First word to remember, classic. Yes.
Classic.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you.